Welcome to Happily Divorced with Karishma. What if the greatest miracle after divorce isn't about finding love at all, but is about finding yourself again? There are moments in life when we look around and we realize that, oh my God, healing is actually happening in real time. And that was this weekend for me. Between graduation moments, blended family moments, uncomfortable conversations, and unexpected, profound connection, I experienced what can happen when we stop operating from resentment and start operating from love. And today I want to talk about what made that possible. It wasn't about perfection or pretending, but it was about choosing myself, choosing peace, choosing to not settle, choosing love over fear. Let's begin. Welcome to Happily Divorced with Karishma. And what a miraculous week it has been. And I am just sitting here on this beautiful Monday and just reveling in deep, profound gratitude. My gratitude comes from just so many realizations and just so many amazing experiences. For me, this week has been the epitome of what happily divorced is about the potential that is possible when we honor ourselves, when we value ourselves, when we put ourselves first, when we make a decision to stop settling. And we move forward without fear. We move forward with trust. We move forward with love. We move forward with alignment. We move forward with God's hand guiding our path every step of the way. And that's what happened today. So let me just sort of describe this crazy week and the shifts that have happened, the blessings that have happened, the miracles that have happened, share what's been happening in real time. A week ago, my boyfriend and I were talking. His oldest niece, who happens to live 20 minutes from me, believe it or not, was graduating high school. And I wasn't a part of the graduation ceremonies. Lots of reasons for that, but I wasn't supposed to be at the graduation ceremony. I wasn't supposed to be a part of the family gatherings, the family reunion, all the things. And approaching graduation week, and as we were talking on Monday, Tuesday, and this is a lot of where I have been internally the last month, probably since the last time I came in this recording studio, is really recognizing, what do I want? Recognizing, what does my soul want? And it's not about like an egoic tantrum. It's like, what does my heart want? What does my heart want in relationship? What does my heart want as a mom? What does my heart want with contribution? What does my heart want with work and business and all the things? And recognizing what my heart wants and then asking for it. And then instead of throwing a tantrum, being in my victim, being in my drama, which I have historically been in my victim and been in my drama, I'm going to own that. That was a lot of what was like modeled to me. And I'm sure a lot of women can relate to that. It was about, what do I want? And then asking the question, okay, what does partnership mean? What does family mean? What does love mean? And you hear my tonality. It wasn't to blame or shame. It was to ask with curiosity. And again, asking with curiosity allowed the answer of, you are with me. You are with me. And I value you and I honor you. And I want you there. And it was literally that shift from like blaming and shaming to asking, to desiring, to wanting. In the spirit of transparency, things have been a little tumultuous with my partner and his family. His brother's wife specifically, a lot of kind of judgment around divorce and not accepting me, not accepting him, not accepting our choices and decisions. And so just the awareness of the fact that it wasn't necessarily a welcoming, inviting environment, but the other side of what my partner really wanted was to be there for his niece's graduation. What we both wanted was to move forward in our relationship as true equals. And that meant having the hard conversation. That meant him asking for me specifically to have a seat at the table and moving forward. And it was nothing short of miraculous. When things happen, every single one of us filters life through our own experiences, through our own distortions. We filter life through what we think should happen, shouldn't happen, what's been the past, the story, the emotions, the drama. And a lot of times, those are the things that affect us and affect our decision making. And as he reflected on how to ask for me to be there and say, this woman is with me and we are coming together as a couple, we are coming together as a family, as a unit. It meant for him coming back to peace, coming back to heart. Again, there's been some stuff in the family, dissolving that old story, dissolving all of that drama, and coming back to heart and saying, I love this niece of mine and I want to be there. And as much as I want to be there, this woman is with me. And I wish for her to come. And you see, that charge, I think for a lot of us, that disrespect, or again, when we see a word, we see a text, again, we're always filtering things through what we've experienced. But recognizing when things come up, when anger comes up, emotion comes up, rage comes up, sadness comes up, like things come up in all of us, me included. And when these things come up, to not judge them, to not make ourselves wrong, not to pretend that didn't happen, but to really allow that emotion to come up and be like, oh my God, here's some sadness, here's some anger. And I'm going to love that anger right now. I'm going to love that sadness right now. I'm going to love whatever is coming up right now. And I choose to align to my heart. I choose to align to what I want, to what I desire. And I feel like when every one of us has the courage to show up with love and ask for love, ask for connection, a lot of times people are not able to receive it. That's on them. That's not about us. But our job is to show up as love. Our job is to model love. Our job is to be the connector, the loving heart, and say, you know what? I belong here. I belong here. And not to take ourselves out, because I know historically I too have taken myself out. And just the miracle that ensued from post-graduation, there was a family dinner, intimate family dinner, and I was there. And the next day there was more of a family party at the house, and I was there. And I was like, what does Karishma want? What does this loving version of Karishma that really wants to just be in gratitude and appreciation? Because showing up was a gift, and I wasn't showing up with entitlement. It was showing up with grace and showing up with gratitude and love. It meant buying a beautiful bouquet of flowers for his niece. It meant getting the gift card together. It meant showing up as part of that process and facilitating that. It meant getting a good bottle of wine to take to the family and just saying I appreciate it. And more importantly, going to the sister-in-law, going to the family and saying, I'm so happy to be here. Congratulations. And really meaning it. And was it easy? There were parts of it that were, and parts of it that weren't. And the parts of that weren't, I had to, before I even went in there, take a deep breath. I get to put all of my story, all of my projections, all of my judgments aside, and I get to show up and be me. And that was nothing short of a miracle. And that was just the first half of the weekend. The second half of the weekend, again, it was a unique situation where my partner had only one son, the little one, that showed up, and the older one was at a school field trip all of the long weekend. And, just in the spirit of wanting to merge families, I got to spend some time with the little boy. And it was the three of us, at the hotel for a while and hanging out on Saturday for a while and just taking it slow. And we went to a park and we saw a little waterfall here in Richardson, Texas, and went with the flow of things. And there was a little bit of Netflix gaming last night, going from one thing to the next and allowing myself to appreciate like that miracle too, because it's rare when his kids come up to Dallas. And there was an opportunity for me to bring all of the kids together. And it was interesting because on my ex's side, his nephew, my kid's cousin, was also in town, which hasn't happened in the last 2 years. After 5 years, I saw my sister-in-law, and I'm going to call her my sister-in-law, even though she's my ex-sister-in-law. I was able to see her through work travel less than 3-4 weeks ago. So I had a reunion with her. And there was, again, gratitude for that moment, the unbelievable miracle of being able to see her and her little boy and them coming to town, my kids being with them, and my partner's kid being there. And I really wanted all the kids to spend time together, like equals, right? Like no separation between my partner's kid, my my kid's first cousin, right? Just really wanted to create that opportunity for everyone to just hang out together, play together. It was awesome because the two little boys were pretty much the same age, and just like so much gratitude because she just loves my kids and takes so much care of my kids when they go to Chicago. And they absolutely love going to Chicago. So there's just, this sense of family and sense of connection with her. When I found out about my sister-in-law coming to town, I told my ex-husband I want to have lunch with them. And again, it just so happened that my partner's in town with his kid. My kids are there. Sister-in-law's there. My ex-husband's there. And my parents, who were in Europe a couple of days ago, overseas on a vacation, they came back, and I 100% knew that when they would come back and they found out she was in town, they would want to spend time with them. And I'm like, you know what, let's just do one thing and get everybody together. And a lunch was planned, and everyone came to my house. And it's been such a miracle where I'm looking at the table, and it's my sister-in-law, her partner, her son, my ex-husband, my kids, my partner, his son, my parents, and me, 11 of us around the table. And I was like, oh my God, this is a freaking miracle. And we started our lunch, and I was like, let's all just start with one thing we're grateful for. And everyone around the table got to share their gratitude. And each response, from the little ones, the 10, 11-year-olds, to the adults, was heartfelt. And I believe everyone in that room felt the love. And I was so deeply grateful for every person that was in that room. My ex-husband, who has had the courage to go through this journey too with me. I'm so freaking proud of us because we get to define what family means to us, and we get to decide what love means. And just because he's not my husband anymore doesn't mean I care less about him, right? Family reunions, Christmases, Thanksgiving, Father's Day, he's historically been at every one of those things, and he will continue to be. And it's been really important to me to be an advocate for him and supporter of him, and obviously a co-parent. But I'm grateful for him and me and the journey that we have had together through the marriage and after the marriage. Honestly, so grateful for my sister-in-law for being open-minded enough to not let that get in the way. And it was kind of bizarre because after we were done with lunch, we actually ended up going to my ex-husband's pool, and the kids and I were in the pool. My partner's in the pool too. So it was the two of us adults and all the children. And so, a little weird, because ex-husband sitting there, sister-in-law sitting there. And there were a few moments of awkward, but it's okay. It's all good. I will take this version over resentment, over the hardship. And when I kind of reflect on this magical weekend, if I had to summarize what's working, one is aligning to peace. It's recognizing when things come up and sometimes we get upset. It's like, okay, there it is. And 95% of what comes up isn't the present, it's something from the past, a trigger from my marriage. And it's when things are coming up, instead of shunning it away, shooing it away, pretending it's not there, it'd be like, oh my God, what does Karishma need right now? Karishma needs love. Karishma needs to know she is seen. Karishma needs to know she is valued. Karishma needs to know she belongs. And it's not about belonging to anyone else. It's belonging to me. It's belonging to God. And as long as I keep aligning to that truth, that for me is like the most important thing. So aligning to peace, aligning to my value. God values me, and I value me. And when I value me, the world values me. And it has been this uncanny shift that I can't put my hands on the last 4 to 6 weeks of just the universe showing me how loved I am. My boss on Thursday, when I was talking to him before the long weekend, was like, Karishma, you're so appreciated and your efforts are noticed. And I see how you are showing up and you are going above and beyond and you are proactive, and I honor that. And it's just like, I didn't do it for that, but how nice it is to receive that, right? And my parents, my dad especially, was like, Karishma, thank you so much for putting this lunch together. It means so much to me. And I am so proud of you. And this morning, my dad shows love through food. And my mom had made this thing that he really likes. And he's like, no, I'm going to have one piece. I'm going to put these 5 pieces aside for Karishma. And he's like, Karishma, you were in my heart this morning. Karishma, you were in my mind this morning. And he came by to my house, drove 20 minutes to give me the food, to show me how loved I am. And it's so silly, but it's so meaningful. I told someone on the phone going through her own divorce journey. When we decide we are worthy and we are not going to settle. And again, it's not an egoic tantrum. It's this like aligning with our value from the inside. Oh my God, the miracles keep flowing and flowing and flowing. And this is just the beginning. So thank you all for being a part of this journey with me. And I'm so grateful to be here. Bye.